Remember when you were a kid playing Burger Time at the arcade? Your heart racing as you carried your burgers through the maze to the hungry customers waiting on the other side. And you thought to yourself, man, I want to make a game this cool one day. Little did baby me know that one day, not too far in the future, crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter could make that dream a reality. If you're dreaming of launching a Kickstarter campaign for a game of your very own, but aren't totally sure of where to start, well, you're in luck, because today we'll be going over some of the key tips for launching a successful Kickstarter campaign for your game on Kickstarter. I've said the word Kickstarter quite a lot there. Alright friends, let's get cooking. That's Burger Time's slogan, by the way. Let's get cooking. Brilliant. Anyway, let's get cooking. If you find this video helpful, then please like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the Indiegameiacs podcast, which is a podcast interviewing indie developers, content creators, and anything to do with the indie world. So you can find that on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher and everywhere you find your podcasts. So with that said, let's crack on with the video. Your first tip is build a following ahead of time. Now, you'll want to generate as much hype in advance as you possibly can. It's recommended that you introduce your game at least 6 months before launching your campaign. That way, backers will be pumped and ready to pledge by the time your launch officially starts. If you don't spread the word about your new game ahead of time, it's a lot more likely to get buried in the stack of games on Kickstarter. Backers like to feel that they're in the know about the hottest new games on Kickstarter, and are more likely to fund games they already are excited about, rather than games that they've never heard of before. Now you can spread the word about your campaign using social media, email mailing lists, telegrams, or even carrier pigeons. Anyway, just get that word out there, whatever it takes. And remember, marketing starts on the first day, not launch day. Your next tip is have a demo ready. So Kickstarter games are bound to get more backers if you have an easy to download, playable demo. I mean, what better way can you express how great your game is other than having people actually play it? Without a demo, it'll be a lot harder to gain your backers' trust or their interest. I mean, if the game really is as great as you say it is, shouldn't you be able to prove it? Sometimes words alone aren't enough to sell a person on your game. Take Burger Time, for example. Someone just reading about it might be like, boring. If I wanted to wait tables, I'd just be a waiter. But when they actually play Burger Time, they can't believe how intense it is, how thrilling, how complex the pixelated mazes and tiny little hamburgers are. People are simply more likely to back a game that they've been able to experience for themselves. Besides, you want them wanting more. So get that demo going. So your third tip is set the right goal. First of all, remember, the whole point of your Kickstarter campaign is to raise enough money for you to fund your project. So if you undershoot your goal, the campaign might end and you'll still not be able to fund it. Then you and your backers will both be disappointed, which isn't good for anyone and pretty terrible for your game. Setting your goal works both ways though. While you don't want to undershoot it, you certainly don't want to overshoot it by a ton either. If you put your goal at $1 million for instance, the chances are it's not going to reach that goal. And Kickstarter's all or nothing, so try to find a point that's attainable. To get that perfect number, you're going to need to carefully pre-plan every aspect of your game build. Don't just guess at what it will cost, really do the research and plan ahead as much as possible. Again, the whole point of Kickstarter is to make enough money to build your game and release it to the public, so this is not where you want to mess around. Your fourth tip is create meaningful rewards. Now this part is a little tricky. You might think that everyone will want rewards no matter what, because hey, who doesn't like shiny presents? But the thing is, your backers want to invest in something meaningful to them. They want to know that they're paying for something that's worth their money and for them to get excited about. You don't want to just promise random objects from your closet, like a dirty sweater for $50 or a beanie baby for $100. Make the rewards relatable to your game, people. You might think that's obvious, but you would be surprised. Now, it's recommended that you have 3 to 4 tiers of rewards between $5 and $100, and then 1 or 2 higher tiers more than $100. When you choose the rewards for each tier, think about your target audience and what might be meaningful for them. They will pledge based on their personal budget, and the more thoughtful the reward, the more likely they are to make that pledge. So your 5th and final tip is don't launch until you're ready. So make sure you don't launch until you're positive you're ready. It's really tempting to get your campaign going right away when you're excited about it, but launching before you're ready could seriously hurt your funding prospects. You're going to want to make sure you know everything about the story, have a great demo, and know each detail of your game like you've been playing it for so many hours straight that your eyes are bloodshot and your thumb is sprained. If not, your campaign risks looking incomplete, uninteresting, and simply not ready for backers. Nobody is going to back a game that they don't believe in, so make it the best it can possibly be before you launch. You believe in it, so give backers a chance to believe in it too. It's scary to launch a Kickstarter campaign for the first time, but remember, if you love your game and devote the time to building your campaign, backers will love it too. You've got this, friends. Get launching. And good luck.